In this video, you're going to learn how to use the Joint ACS Data to Features tool found in the Census Studio Custom ArcGIS Pro toolbox. The Joint ACS Data to Features tool joins Census ACS data to your existing polygon features. This might be parcels, planning zones, custom boundaries of other types, any other boundary that existing boundary that you may already have. It's going to use those boundaries and it uses spatial interpolation then to assign demographic data to those custom boundaries. So some examples of this might include joining median income data to your parcel polygons, which is what we're going to cover in this video. You might also be looking to add demographic data to traffic analysis zones, enrich custom planning districts with census variables, or attach population data to service areas. All right, so as you can see here, I already have the Join ACS Data to Features tool selected, so I'll go ahead and double click on that. And there are a number of different categories of parameters that you'll need to provide, starting with input. That's just going to be your input feature class. This data set needs to already exist. You'll notice in this, the map that I already have open, that I have a city parcel layer and a subdivision layer. City parcel layer has a set of selected features already in place. And so what we're looking to do here is we're looking to assign median household income to those selected parcels from a specific subdivision. So the idea here is that that data does not already exist on that city parcel data set, and we're looking to assign it. So I'll go ahead and select city parcels as my input feature class. You'll notice that it defaults to using only the selected records. From there, you'll define your census data. It's going to default to the most recent year available, which, as the recording of this video, is 2024. You have two choices for your survey. ACS 5 is the default. ACS 1 is also available. And then from there, you're going to take advantage of some of the built-in tools that we provide through Census Studio to make identifying your census data, downloading that census data, a much easier process. So the first thing we need to do is identify a category of ACS data. And there are lots of categories here. A lot of this is, of course, demographic information, but it's split it up into demographics, education, employment, health, income and poverty, and a few others. I'm going to select household income as my category. Based upon my selection for the category filter, it then filters the tables that are available to make this an easier process. I'm going to select median household income. And again, we're making things much easier for you in Census Studio. We, of course, identify the table names, in this case, B19013, but we also provide a more user-friendly name for those tables. So in the case of B19013, the more user-friendly name is median household income in the past 12 months. So this tool makes it so much easier to identify the data sets that you want to use that are coming from your census data. So we select that. There's only one variable available on that table, so pretty easy process here, just clicking on the check mark next to the variable name. You can enter your variable codes manually or by copying and pasting. Not typically necessary to do that, but there may be some situations where it's easier to copy and paste or type in your variable codes. And so you can do that as well here. But because we've already checked off our variable name above, there's not really any need to enter any variable codes. Based upon the variable that you select, which in this case was median household income, the variable type should automatically be picked up for you. So you'll notice that it's changed to rate and median as the variable type. The other option here is a count, but obviously we're not dealing with count data here. We're dealing with median household income, so it falls into the median variable type category. From there, you'll define your census geography level. So this is where the demographic information is going to be pulled from. So we're pulling median household income at a tract level and then assigning it to our custom boundary, which in this case is the selected set of city parcels. And you have several options here: tract, block group, county, ZCTA. I'll just leave the default here of tract level. Obviously, the smaller you get, the more precise the data. So actually, let's select block group instead of tract here. We have a pretty small custom boundary of one subdivision. So if I select tract, it's probably going to assign the same data to every single parcel within that subdivision. With block group, that's a smaller area, so the data is going to be more precise, and in general, better chance that we're going to get multiple values across the subdivision. From there, you select your join options. I'll select population weighted here. That tends to be the more accurate way of doing this. It weights the data based upon where the population is as opposed to just the geographic area. So it's like population area. And then last thing you'll have to do here is define the output feature class. And we'll just call this Oak Hill subdivision. And then from there I can hit run. And it's going to do some background processing here. So what you're going to see here is a little window that pops up. That's the R code running in the background. And again, what it's doing here is it's pulling the census data at a block group level. In this case, we're pulling median household income information at a block level. And then what we're doing is we are assigning that block level data to each of those parcels so that each parcel is going to wind up with a median household income value that it didn't have before. So it's added by a new feature class, which contains just the selected records. And then from there, we can open the attribute table and take a look at the data, right? So each record here is going to contain the parcel information, right? So you can see the property ID, the subdivision. This was actually River Chase. I think I called it something else, but that's okay. Lot information, legal descriptions, a lot of parcel information that was originally attached to your city parcel layer, right? Ownership information, appraised value, assessed value, things of that sort. But as we get towards the end of the table, that's where you'll find your median household income information. And so again, what we've done here is we've taken demographic data, in this case median household income, and we've attached it to our custom boundary. Now I'm going to have to reorder this just to see if we've got any different values. We may not have. Yeah, it looks like all the values are still the same. I was hoping we get some different values, but no, we did. Okay. So you can see some different values here. And let's just, let's symbolize the data so you can see this a little bit better. We'll just do unique value rendering. And we'll base it on median household income. Only two values here, but that gives you a better visual depiction of what's going on here. Okay, so the parcels that you see in this kind of lavender color, the median household income there was identified as roughly 153,000. The ones that you see in this kind of yellowish color, they were identified as household income of quite a bit less there, roughly around $100,000. All right, but the whole idea here is to take some sort of custom boundary, whatever that happens to be. In this case, it was a set of city parcels, but it can be any custom boundary data. And of course, I don't need to be a polygon data set. But what you're doing is you're taking demographic data and assigning it to those custom boundaries. And that applies to pretty much any demographic variable that you might want to attach to that data set. All right, so that's it for this video. I appreciate you joining me. In additional videos that we're doing in this series, we're going to be covering the other analysis tools that you can use from the Census Studio toolbox, as well as a variety of download tools that you can use to make the process of downloading census data much easier.